Hey again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Beards and Board Games with me, Georgie. This is another name in progress vidcast, minus Baker today because Baker has had, Baker's wife, I was going to say Baker, has currently had, just had their kid. So he is taking a step out. He might jump in at some point today if he gets some time, but he's not sure. Otherwise, today we've got a couple of guests with us. Guys, you want to introduce us, starting with you, Barry?
Oh, me! Okay, hello! I'm Barry. You may find me around. I am a board game musician person who does board game and sketchy things and board game reviews. You can find me on Badger the Brave or Barry the Doublet on YouTube. I also do another live podcast like this called Burky and Badger's Board Game Babble. Blah, blah, blah. And you can find that on YouTube as well. And I have not got a beard, although I didn't shave this morning, and I'm trying to grow a beard so I can be on this show.
That's awesome. Asdruval, welcome to the chat. We've already just went live because we weren't sure if you were awake. We understand it's like 5 o'clock your side, so thanks for stepping in for Baker.
No problem. I just had a little technical difficulties this morning. My daughter put applesauce all over my mouse, so I had to clean that up real quick.
That is a technical difficulty benign like none other. So anyway, we're just introducing everyone. Kirk, do you want to take us off?
Sure. Hey, my name's Kirk. I'm the host of Roll and Move Reviews. And Georgie must be desperate for co-hosts. I know he's way down the list if I'm on the show. So, but thanks for having me on, and great to be here.
Awesome. And as usual, we've got Asdruval. Asdruval, do you want to give us a quick introduction to yourself?
Hello, my name is Asdruval, and I can be seen every other Thursday on Board Game Blender, which is on the Dice Tower Network.
Awesome. And today we're all here to talk about, you all know me, I'm Georgie from Beards and Board Games. If you don't, I don't know what you are doing here in the first place, to be honest. We're all here to talk about 2015. I'm going to call this video the 2015 overhaul, and just in general what we all sort of felt and I don't know, just general feelings about 2015 in the gaming world. I know for me personally, I'm going to kick us off about what was great for me in 2015. I started my channel literally January 2nd or 3rd, I think. So this is like my year anniversary almost for my channel. So it's been awesome for me to start it. The reviews have picked up recently. I've been doing a lot more. I've been becoming a lot more comfortable, and I've been making a lot more friends online, like the 3 other, dare I say it, ugly mugs that you might see on this video today as well.
Legit.
Okay, bye-bye!
So yeah, I mean, that was one thing that was great for me in 2015. Does anyone else want to take us off with what was awesome about their 2015? Don't all jump at once, of course.
Okay, I'll go ahead and go. My 2015 was really good. There was a lot of great new board games that I played. I don't know if it was for me looking for this type of board game, but there was a lot of, how should I say, I hate to use the word gateway games, but there was a lot of gateway games done in 2015. And those are the kind of games that I kind of like. Not really easy games, but the easy to medium games in complexity, because I do enjoy showing a lot of new and different people the hobby, and I just love an easy game. And I've gotten a lot of people interested in board games that way, with just a nice, easy game. And I feel that there was a lot of them that came out in 2015.
Was there any in particular that stood out for you at all, Asdruval?
Oh, my one game that replaced Ticket to Ride for me was New York 1901. I've showed that to a lot of people this year.
Okay, that's a good choice. Barry, I know you're a big fan of 1901 as well, right?
I am a big fan of 1901, and yeah, there's been some great games of 2015, and New York is one of those games. It's just something in the same vein as Ticket to Ride, but it's a not replacement, but an alternative to playing it. And 2015 has seen a few fair games hit the top mark. Those 9s out of 10s, 10s out of 10s, but not so many for me. But that's beside the point, I think. I mean, there's always a game for someone else out there. Things that I've enjoyed about this year is the events. There's more and more of them popping up around the world, which is great. Again, there's more and more board game cafes. We were talking about this a little bit earlier, Georgie. There's more and more board game cafes opening up around the world as well. So that's great for all of us to get out, and if we manage to get out, that is. In joke. And yeah, I've had a blast. It's just another day in the office for me. Although I don't get paid for doing this stuff.
It's awesome. And did you also? Was it 2015? You hit Essen as well, Barry? How was that?
Yeah, that was the first time I did the whole 4 days, and it was an extremely fulfilling experience. I didn't go there promoting myself. I just went there as a what's the word? A pleb, a plebeian. Just a consumer. That's the word. Yes, I went there as a consumer. I just walked around the stands, looked at the games, chatted to people. It was nice just to have, every now and again someone would come up to me and say, "Hey, I know you," and it's like, it was nice. And of course, I met lots of other people like yourself over there, although I didn't meet you, I don't think.
No, it wasn't me you met over there, no.
Yeah, it must have been another guy with a beard. Well, actually, there was a lot of guys with beards there. I'm starting to feel left out again.
Yeah, I think you'll probably need to start growing one, but for just in case you're ever invited on this channel again, Barry. Cause, other than that, Kirk, how was 2015 for you?
It was a great year for me. Same as you, I started my channel this year, back in March, I think it was. Something I'd wanted to do for a really long time, and I just finally got the chance to do it. I've had so much fun with it. Like you said, met a lot of great people through it, meeting you guys and everything. I've really enjoyed that. And personally, I've really got to expand my board game horizons. I've had a solid, small core game group for a really long time. But this year I was able to get on my shell a little bit, meet some new people, meet new gamers, like Asdruval said, introduce new people to games, and just really expand my circles. I've seen my kids kind of mature as gamers, and I've had a lot of fun playing with them. So for me, it's been a really good gaming year.
That's awesome, man. So as far as I know, we kind of lightly touched on like games of 2015 that kind of stood out for us. I mean, personally, I had a couple of, I would say, surprises, but I expected them to be good, but I didn't expect them to be this good. And I guess one of them for me was Seven Wonders Duel. I really enjoyed the Seven Wonders drafting aspect, and the two-player irritating mechanic is just, I mean, nobody needs to play that anymore. We can just play Seven Wonders Duel and be done with it. It's just something that really stood out for me as a game. And the whole, who was it I was watching the other day? Somebody actually described it really well, and I can't remember the term they used. The mahjong drafting technique of the cards is a super awesome technique, and it's just something that really stood out for me. Another one, particularly for the deduction aspect of it, because I'm quite a fan of I say quite a fan of deduction games, but I don't like some of the big ones that other people like. However, I won't go into that. But one of the ones that I really enjoyed was Spectre Ops, which came out very start of 2015, and it really just held up all the way through, and I'm still playing sort of countless times every month. So, I mean, that was games that kind of stood out for me in 2015. What about you, Barry? Have you got any like specific games that stood out in 2015 for you, or?
Yeah, well, I've already mentioned New York 1901.
Yeah.
Another one which stood out for me is Potion Explosion by Horrible Games, which has this marble dispenser, and you're playing like Candy Crush, but you're not playing Candy Crush, obviously. But it's a potion making game. It's very family friendly. It's very adorable, and that's kind of stood out to me as quality of components and also the theme and the ideas of the game. Other games which have stood out for me, he's looking through his list, there's a couple of small party games like Crossings from Munster Games, which is a nice kind of pointing finger kind of game, stealing gems. There's been some excellent games come out in regards to themes like Prime Time, which is where you're a executive of a TV station. You're choosing what programs to put on each night. Very, very interesting. And I could go on. Obviously, there's all the big ones which everyone talks about, like Time Stories and Pandemic Legacy. But I'm not going to talk about them because I haven't. Well, I have played. Yeah, I played Time Stories, but I haven't played Pandemic, and I'm not a fan of Pandemic. So I'm holding my breath. You know, that's why it's number one on Board Game Geek, because everyone that likes Pandemic has gone out and bought it, liked it, and then given it a good score. So when it comes to me, when I get a copy and people like me that get a copy or play it, we're going to give it like a whatever score it gets. So then it'll start going down, boy. But
yeah, I'm to be honest, I'm not. I heard a nasty rumor that a lot of people were voting it up without even playing it. Hence, it got to number one so quickly. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure about that, to be honest. Just something that I heard, just something in the grapevine on BGG. But but then I did hear it sold something like over 500,000 copies already. So
yeah, it's a big seller, and as I said, I think it's people who love Pandemic, who want this game, have bought it, played it, voted high for it. So therefore, it's got no choice but to go up. I mean, as I said, I'm not going to go out and buy it because I'm not a big fan of Pandemic. I'm more of a Defenders of the Realm fan, but I'm not going to go out, buy it, rate it, and then immediately I've got my money to spend on other games that I want to buy first, and games that I deem worthy of my collection. So
yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry, just to reiterate about Pandemic, I'm a big Pandemic fan, but heard about Pandemic Legacy. When they were developing it, the game came out, and then I just can't see myself spending that much money because it's highly expensive, and then just playing it a number of times. I think that's what's really stopping me from buying it. That you play it 14, 15 times, and then the game's over. And then I have a dead game that I've wasted all that money on, and it's not a cheap game. So I think that's what's stopping me from buying it.
I'm with you there, Asdruval. I feel the same way. I can't bring myself. And it's funny, me and Georgie talked about this off the air a while back. Realistically, I know there are games sitting on my shelf that I'm never going to play 14, 15 times, probably ever, in the lifespan of that game. But just there's something psychologically about knowing that game has an expiration date and then it's going to go on the shelf and I'm never going to be able to bring it down again. I'm right there with you. I really have a problem with investing in something like that. And Time Story is kind of the same. I mean, I've been hesitant to play that because it's another game with an expiration date that you're just done with. So putting that money down for it, like you said, there's other things I'd rather play that have a little bit more replayability.
Yeah, I think I think with both of them, they do plan on sort of. I mean, probably not with Pandemic because I think once the board's done, I think it's done. But I know there's obviously, it says season 1 on the box, so we're expecting more. And with Time Stories, again, we've got all the expansions planned. But yeah, I mean, I kind of feel the same. I want to have the ultimate life for a board game. If it's going to be there, I want it to be there forever, not to just be there until it's used and then take up space. Because let's face it, nobody really wants to throw out a 50 quid game once once it's spent. So it's just going to sit there and take up space. So that every so often you can go, yeah, we played it about 17 times. Great, really fun. So
yeah, but on the other hand, there may be that instance where you fork out on a 50 quid game, and then your daughter comes along with the strawberry jam.
Oh no!
50 quid in the bin. Go to jail. Do not click go.
Or applesauce, right? Asdruval?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there has been a lot of those games I didn't say a lot of those games, but it does seem to be the year of them in 2015. So, and I think it's only going to continue in 2016. I'll tell you what else seems to have really kicked off in 2015. is the really, I mean, obviously in 2014 we saw some pretty big spending Kickstarters. In 2015 we've just seen like the likes of Cool Mini or Not's Kickstarters go up and up and up, and I don't know if that's due to the popularity in the game or whether it's due to the popularity in people just wanting to be a part of it. So with the likes of Zombicide, Black Plague, the others, Arcadia Quest, and Inferno, can I just say all of which I am a part of, but it's, you know, is it just the case of all these exclusives? Is that what's dragging people in nowadays, or is it the fact that people saw how big they were last year and want to be a part of it this year? What do you guys think?
Right, Georgie, I know we've had extensive conversations on Kickstarter before, but you know, I'm just so of an impatient person that if I'm going to lay down money, I want it right away. You know, I can't wait a year or 6 months or however long it takes for them to make the game. But yeah, I think that just what I think you hit it on the head, that it's exploding. They're offering more better exclusives, I guess, if you kickstart the project that you can't get anywhere else. I think that's why it's kind of exploded a little bit.
Yeah, I could see why that would. I mean, that's kind of why that's what I think about it. I mean, Kirk, Barry, you got any thoughts on that?
I'm kind of in the same camp as Asdruval, where I just personally I prefer to keep that money in my pocket. You know, if you're going to produce that game, your Kickstarter campaign works, great. Let me know when I can buy it, and I'll just get it off the shelf or order it. I'm the same way. I want to keep my money until I actually have a product I can buy. So I don't pre-order a lot of stuff, but yeah, I think I think a lot of it. You're right, George. I think a lot of Kickstarter popularity in general seems to be just talking to people and seeing people talk on Board Game Geek. It really seems people want to be more a part of it, part of the process, more than they necessarily want to have the game or get the exclusives. People really seem to connect. I mean, almost to a ferocious degree where they get aggressive. That when they put their money down and they support a campaign, it becomes something that they cling to. So yeah, I think that community is a big part of it.
Yeah, definitely. What you're going to hear from me is a sound of something, but we're not going to have any arguments here because I think we're all like-minded people here. This is really strange. I would agree. Kickstarter is a part of, people want to be a part of the production of the game instead of they want the game. Again, I'm not someone that wants to put down lots of money on something that I've got to wait a year to get. I have done, but it's not favourable. I mean, I'm still waiting for games to come through, and it's not fun. This waiting expectations are just going through the window. So, yeah, Kickstarter, Cool Mini or not.
Hey, I think we got Baker.
Yeah, I think we do. We've got.
Hey!
How's it going?
Hello,
Baker?
everybody. Kirk, Asdruval, Georgie, and that's Barry right there, who I've been watching for a couple of years now. That's crazy.
But I've got clothes on.
Oh, well.
Well, yeah, you got clothes on. I've been watching you, yeah. Oh, and you have a YouTube channel. I didn't know that. I've just been watching you.
Baker, awesome to have you join us. I'm really glad you managed to find you managed to find some time, and which I'm presuming is going to be like a super busy schedule right now with your new young one arriving.
Yeah, I could have to leave any moment. It's like a ticking time bomb. So
when you see his nostrils start twitching, you know he's got to go and change it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's great to have you on.
Y'all?
Well, we've just been talking about like what's been awesome in 2015 for us, like what games we've really been digging. Since we've went through everyone else, Baker, you've joined us a little bit late, but what about 2015 for you? How's it been?
Well, I was going through all the actual 2015 releases that I got. I can't believe I bought as many as I did, because normally I'm more of a wait and let a game kind of simmer for a little bit and then pick it up. But yeah, Tides of Time was a lot of fun. I got that one, and got beat by my daughter, and she still doesn't let me live that down. Got Seven Wonders Duel, which is a lot of fun. I definitely enjoy it more than Seven Wonders, even though Seven Wonders I think is still a good game. But my daughter beat me one time. The first time we played, she beat me in that one. Sorry, I'm looking over here because this is where my games are. But then I crushed her the next 2 times, so I feel pretty good about that. And does Imperial Assault count as 2015? No, that was 2014. But all the expansions are 2015. So that was been pretty fun. But the problem with that one is you got to have the right group to play it with. You can't. You kind of. My wife's not a big fan of it, so I only get to play it whenever I go to one of my game groups because the other game group doesn't like it either. So, yeah, it was a pretty good year. My favorite though, I don't know if you see it over my shoulder there. That I heard a bunch of people down talking when I was listening to the live stream before I joined.
Oh, so that's why you've joined Baker. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking, Asdruval. That's why he's jumped on. So he just can't handle it.
I got to come to its defense.
Go on then, tell us about Pandemic Legacy, Baker. Tell us how that has made your year.
Oh, man. Well, okay. Let me give you a brief history of Pandemic with my family. When my wife and I went on our honeymoon, we had never played Pandemic, and I was like, I just got this in the mail. I'll just bring this just in case, maybe. And then we played it like 20 times while we were on the honeymoon. So Pandemic has a special place in my heart already. And then this one has, because we kind of stopped playing it for a little while, and now we're playing this one, and I love it. I mean, I completely understand why people have an issue with the legacy system, like why they wouldn't want to spend their own money on it. So
we should steal
what blows
it.
my mind is people. What's that?
So we should steal it, is what you're saying?
No, not that you should steal it. That you should find a friend that has it and play with them.
Pandemic Legacy.
Yeah, that's right. I said it here first. Go out and everybody steal that game because that's the piracy of the board game world is when you go out and you actually pirate something from somebody. No, for me, Legacy, I enjoy how serious every decision really is in that game and how badly things can turn real quickly. But I know it's not for everybody. I will say, with the stuff on BGG that happened, and it bothers me no matter which way it goes, whether people are upvoting or downvoting. Mm-hmm. If anybody looked to see how many December 2015 one votes Pandemic Legacy got, if anybody upvoted it in retaliation for that, then I have no issue with that. Just because of how awful it got. Now, I didn't do it. I gave it my 9.5, which it's always had. And I didn't go on the Twilight Struggle and downvote it because a lot of people did that too to kind of balance the field or whatever. But it's crazy when people get that serious about BGG rankings. I am really happy that it's number 1, though.
You got to take those rankings with a grain of salt because there are a lot of politics behind it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I actually had to start doing research to figure out how they work too because I didn't understand it. And I guess BGG gives a certain number of 5 votes to to balance out the extremes, like 100 or something. I don't know if anybody's done a whole lot of research, but that's what I can come up with. That's why the geek rating and the user rating are different.
Yeah, I mean, I think like what Kirk said, there's a lot of politics in regards to the BGG ratings. I think everyone knows about the old Space Hulk BGG rating tail. Anybody's heard of that one?
I don't know about that.
No, so Games Workshop contacts
BGG. Everybody knows. Nope, none of us.
No, okay, apparently nobody knows. Maybe I'm the sad one that goes through BGG all the time, right? But back, I don't know when exactly, but Games Workshop contacted BGG and basically said that all the fan-made stuff and most of the pictures and everything needed to be removed from the site immediately. I can't remember exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember the full ins and outs or exactly what needed to be removed. So in retaliation to that, basically everyone was like, well, we love Space Hulk, but we hate you for doing that Games Workshop because that was really highly ranked. I don't know if it was number 1, but it was up there in the top 100, and everyone just changed it from a 10 to a 1 just to retaliate the Games Workshop and basically say, well, if you're not going to play fair with us, then we won't play fair with you. Again, that is if your rating system allows that to happen, it's kind of broken, but you said, politics.
I don't know if it was this year or last year, but didn't they have a campaign to make that My Little Pony game #1 for like a week. Like My Little Pony took over Board Game Geek, like it was everywhere, and it was #1, and then everybody just quit and it went back. But I mean, that is kind of dangerous. Hey, let's make My Little Pony the #1 game on the planet. I don't know.
I would agree. It's kind of broken, but it's a really good reference in general to a rating of a game. And I think, let's face it, everyone here is
Barry and Asdruval, I think y'all would agree with me when I say that My Little Pony should be at least in the top 10. Is that?
My daughter loves My Little Pony, and my oldest daughter actually, she still plays the card game.
Yep.
No comment. Final Fantasy 8 should be in the top 10.
On Board Game Geek?
On Board Game Geek, yeah.
Okay, we can make this happen.
Yeah, I know. What you have to do is you take disc 1 and you put it on space 2, and then you have to balance it. It's a dexterity game. You have to balance it between the keys of your keyboard. I'm going to have to move the camera, but I can't. I've only got one arm. So, and then I don't know what I've done there. Oh, you got to balance them. There you go. Dexterity game. Final Fantasy 8, the dexterity game. Balance all 4 of the CDs on top of each other on your keyboard. #1.
That's a
Geek.
I'm voting now.
Game.
Right, do you mind if I take a selfie?
Yeah. Oh man. So I think before this goes all like totally crazy, I knew something like crazy was going to happen when Barry was on, because every time you see Barry on a live chat or you hear him on a podcast, things just kind of get a little wild and rowdy. We know how Barry gets.
Oh yeah.
See how you're staring at me right now. So I think the next thing I was going to move on to, we did again kind of cover it just a little bit, but surprises of 2015. Like, did anything surprise any of you guys or stick out? Like, stand. Okay, I can see Barry holding something up there.
Yeah. 504. Yeah, that surprised me. I thought, what a great idea for a game. And I was going to pick it up at Essen, and then I saw it on the table. I think the tablecloth was yellow, bright yellow, much like the one I got here. And the game was on it, and I thought, oh my God, that game looks really ugly. I got closer, and I thought, it's a Catan game. No, it's not Catan. It's 504, and I thought, oh my God. And I looked at the tiles, and I looked at the wooden components, and I thought, oh my God, they're really poor. Sorry, I was going to say something else. And so I was really surprised. I was expecting something. That was my big surprise of the year. Seeing what I wanted 504, because I love the idea of having 504 games in one box, and I could take it on holiday and I could play any game I want with the family. But when I saw it, I was shocked. I was violently ill afterwards, and made my own 504 on the floor.
I like it.
My surprise of the year was 5 Tribes.
Was apple sauce.
You know, I heard about the game before I bought it, watched all the reviews. It got good reviews. Everybody loved it. I bought the game. I played it one time, and I said to myself, boy, this game, I spent all this money, and this game really sucks. I did not like it at all. Pulled it out a second time, liked it a little bit better, pulled it out again. It was one of those games that that definitely grew on me. I love the game now, but going into it, I was excited to get it, surprised that I didn't like it, but then I liked it. And that was my point.
And the game was, drumroll please.
5 Tribes.
Okay.
Sorry, 5 Tribes.
Yeah, good choice.
My big surprise for the year, I played this one at Origins. You can sit there. This is bottom of the ninth from Greater Than Games and Dice Hate Me Games. Greater Than Games, they're the guys that do Sentinels, and I really like the Sentinels of the Multiverse. I really like that game. And I actually was at their booth at Origins, and they were demoing this. And I got to play it. I didn't think I was going to think that much of it, just because it's a baseball game, and it's small, and baseball's a very technical game. I didn't think they were going to be able to really simulate it in such a small package. But I sat there at their table, and they walked me and a friend through it, and I just really loved it. Came out, I think they released it like November, and I just got it for Christmas, so really just got a chance to start digging into it. But it's a really fun game. And like I said, it really simulates that one inning of a baseball game, and takes you pitch by pitch, and really captures that just stare down between the pitcher and the batter. I'm a big baseball fan, so I really love that moment, and it really captures it. Really tense, really fun game, 2-player game, quick experience, but I really liked it.
For me, and I've already mentioned it, I think it had to be Tides of Time, because I didn't think. Kind of like with Kirk with that baseball game, I didn't think in such a small package you could effectively do a 2-player card drafting game. Because as it is, card drafting games already are kind of wonky when it's just 2 players. And I know Seven Wonders has some weird variation, and then Sushi Go has like a dummy player you have to use. So, but I got it, and we have played a bunch of that, and it is a lot of fun. Not only is it a lot of fun, but there's a surprising amount of, if you really want to try to maximize what you're doing, there's a lot of thought that goes into it. You got to remember what's in the other hand, and it's only going back and forth, so you feel like you should be able to remember it real easily. But every time, inevitably, I pass the hand over to the next person, and I'm looking, seeing what's in this one. I'm like, all right, I have no idea what they have anymore. And I don't know what it is about it. It's definitely a lot of thought has to go into it, but Tides of Time is a ton of fun. It's so cheap for a game that you can play that much. So I highly recommend that one for anybody that has not played it yet.
I'm writing that one down.
It's a super fun one. I think me and Baker spoke about it before as well. I really like Tides of Time. But surprise.
Well, yeah, George, your review was actually a deciding factor in me finally getting it.
Yeah,
I figured if you liked it that much, then I should probably give it a shot.
I did hype it up a little bit. I still super love it. I got to be honest. I really do. Me and the wife will play it all the time.
I'm not watching any of your reviews if you hype them up, I tell you.
Yeah. I may have
heart.
overinflated my love for it a little bit.
Yeah.
There may have been money passed between me and Portal Games. I'm not saying.
I think it would be a different currency, Baker, and we all know that I'm going to get it in before you do. The exchange rate, right, is probably going to be poor because we all know that your American dollar's weak as always. So,
exchange rates? I finally got an exchange rate to work for me because when I sent you your birthday present, it screwed me. I then found Mage Knight in Canada, and it was like $1,000 in Canada and $20 here. So it was amazing.
I'm sure that's the exact tale that you told your wife to be able to spend that amount of money on a game that's kind of out of print at the moment, right?
Yeah. In all seriousness, I did find it for cheaper in Canada with shipping than I could have found it here in America. So it was pretty cool. It'll probably be here in like a month though, because I don't know how the Canadian Post works.
It goes over the North Pole and then round to the South Pole and then to where you are.
Oh,
that's what I heard.
That's
I heard
exactly
that's how
like
it
the
works.
Royal Mail,
Yeah.
I think it's Barry. Have you got any surprise? Did you go through your surprise of 2015?
Yeah, like my
Barry's was 504.
Mine was negative surprise, not
So it was, yeah.
happy surprise.
Yeah.
Barry, what were you holding up that had 504 on it? Because that's definitely not.
It's a beer coaster.
Oh, a beer coaster. Okay.
With
I was trying to figure out what that was. I was like, is that part of the game? What?
You wait till I get the sex toys out. They're just underneath here.
Oh, wow. And in case anyone was wondering, we are not part of the Dice Tower Network.
Sure, I think, speaking of beer coasters, I thought I would just show these off that I got for my Christmas. They're kind of cool. So, like, a custom glass artist. So, Emperor. They're just like some chibi art that some guy did, some street artist did. And we know. Not a huge Star Wars fan then, Barry, no?
I'm fed up. Everywhere is Star Wars. I want something different. Why can't we have like...
Georgie, I appreciate the coasters. I like them.
I mean, that's what happens when stuff is hyped. Barry.
Oh, look at that!
There you go.
Oh no, there's another T-shirt there as well, Kirk. Right?
Here's mine. Why can't we have like Black Sabbath everywhere? Come on.
Here, my shirt is kind of equal to your awesomeness there, Barry, as well. Don't know if you've heard of those guys, but yeah.
Angela.
My shirt's cool too.
Evil.
Yeah.
Kirk, which shirt are you wearing?
I was the one in Falcon.
Oh, okay. Sorry, that never showed up on my screen. I just heard people start talking about Star Wars shirts, and so I mean, Asdruval, what shirt are you wearing?
Just my classic white T-shirt.
Do you have anything else in your closet?
I do. I actually popped up a couple of times in the earlier episodes of Board Game Blender, and believe it or not, somebody wrote in the comment, "What happened to your white shirt?" So I just started wearing white after that.
Nice.
How dare you?
Well, I would just like to quickly jump in and say that my full surprise of 2015, the one that I thought was going to be awesome, but then when I kind of opened it, I was missing pieces, and now that I've replaced the pieces and played it, I really, really like the game, and that's Mafia de Cuba.
You were missing pieces from Mafia de Cuba?
Yeah, they sent. Well,
That's not even important.
They sent a used copy. There's someone who had played it and taken out the gems.
How did you guess? It
No,
was.
Steve, this is a meta version of the game. You got to go find where those gems are.
Well, was it the postman? Was it the guy at Amazon? Or was it the actual person that put the box together?
It was the person that put the box together because it was wrapped in cellophane, but I only had 13 gems instead of 15. So yeah, kind of upsetting.
You can put real diamonds in there, and then you're really playing a serious game.
Oh, have you got any spare diamonds lying about, Baker? I don't know.
No. Y'all collected them all and put them in your crowns, so I figured that you had them.
Oh, is that why you left? Oh, right, okay.
That's why we left. We took all our gems.
That
religion thing was just kind of whatever.
I showed my father when that game got announced. I showed my father. I said, "Look, there's a game. It's kind of about Cuba," and he got really upset at me. Well, first of all, he doesn't even like that I play board games, but he got really upset at me because he actually knows Fidel Castro.
Who is that?
Really?
I'm sorry, I'm not. Who's that?
Fidel Castro is the well, I think he's like semi-retired, but he runs Cuba. He runs the country.
Yeah, his brother's kind of in charge now, but
yeah, Raúl Castro is in charge. My father in the 1930s was in the Cuban Revolution with all of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow, a little bit of history there as well.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, basically Cuba. I mean, Fidel and America have had a very rocky relationship for a long time. We only recently were able to start going there again, like in the past couple of months. For how long has it been? What, 50 years or something like that? We haven't been allowed to go to Cuba.
Not at all.
Wow.
So I know the rest of the world is like, what's the big deal? Because everybody else has been going there all the time. But for America, for whatever reason, our government decided it was too dangerous for us to go down there.
Right, and I believe that Cuba, if I'm not mistaken, is only about 20, 25, 30 miles off the coast of Florida, I think.
Yeah.
So it's very close.
Yeah, that's one place on the map I do recognize that part there from Florida, and then it goes into Cuba and things. So that's kind of strange that you weren't.
Tom could swim there if he wanted to.
What would he fill his suitcase with?
Well, it's Tom, so board games.
Yeah. It's like Powder in Pandemic Legacy. How many copies of Pandemic Legacy do you need? You know?
Time to play a real-life version of Lifeboat.
Who we're going to chuck over the board, right? So yeah, 2015 I think has been a pretty awesome year for me, and I think all of us I mean, obviously we've had some negatives, like Barry said, but all in all, whoa, we have some more. Has there been some more letdowns? Come on, tell us, Barry. Come on.
Well, do you want to
Oh
do
my,
that
he
now?
has a list.
Yeah, come on, let's give us some.
Okay. What shall I start with? Baby Blues. Oh la 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 la. I thought we were beyond games like this, and yet it got so much hype and attraction to it. And it's just a simple, well, stick that up, yep. Yeah. Oh, your baby's going to have a poo. And there you go. For you, Baker. Yeah. Or, your baby drops apple sauce over your pandemic legacy. There you go. No, terrible take that game. Horrible. Oh, yee. I played a couple of other dice piratey games, Dark Seas and Curse of the Black Die. What is the big thing with them? The theme just falls flat. It's just dice rolling and moving bits around. No, sorry. Boring games. What else was boring this year? Oh, la. Pitch Fleet was not too bad.
Well, what about Exploding Kittens, right? That was a dire consequence this year. That came out this year. And,
yeah.
That was just a big I mean, everyone knew that was not going to be fun. It was exactly as I expected it to be, not fun. So, yeah. There's another trick-taking game for you.
You've played it, have you?
Yeah. Have you played it as well, or?
No. Do I look that sad and mad?
I'm going to take a comment from you earlier, Barry, and say no comment. So, yeah.
Was that before or after the sex toys thing?
Oh, that was definitely before. Definitely.
Okay.
So, I think really in regards to 2015, I don't really have much else that stood out for me or that surprised me. I did have quite some letdowns. There was the obvious stuff that I enjoyed, like I enjoyed Blood Rage and like I said, I enjoyed Mafia de Cuba. Again, I think that was quite an obvious one in regards to party games that came out. I did not enjoy Codenames. That was a big letdown for me. Everyone raved about it. I dove straight in and I was like, hey, I'm going to get Codenames because I need a party game that I'm going to be able to play with my whole family. And yeah, I reckon I could play it with my family, but I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm just not loving that game at all. Anyone else played Codenames and not loving it, or am I alone?
I haven't played it yet.
No, I don't know what version to buy, French or English, so I'm stumped.
I've played it a couple of times. It's a quick game, but not really my cup of tea.
Yeah, I was on a podcast with Jason Hancock and the other Jason, and we were talking about that, and they were saying, oh yeah, we really like it, we really enjoy it, but they totally understood why I wasn't digging it, and they said that they've actually met quite a few people that weren't digging, just weren't digging the whole word game, but then a lot of people aren't really into the whole Scrabilia, I guess you could call it.
Whoa! Is that a word?
No, I'm making that up. It's like memorabilia, but Scrabble-like, I guess.
Scrabilia.
So
I gotta find a way to work that in my everyday vocabulary.
I guess there's a lot of people that aren't really into the whole word game thing. And me personally, I have not found one that I enjoy yet. So that was another big letdown for me. But looking ahead into 2016, and there is some.
Can I give my letdown of the year before you move on, Georgie?
We missed Kirk.
Well, we didn't miss Kirk, but I think Kirk wants to let one in before we quickly skip on. But we've still got time to take a dig at you, Kirk. I would say if we don't agree. So.
I got a couple actually. First of all, big game this year from Flying Frog was Shadows of Brimstone, and I think it might have came out in 2014, late 14. I don't know if the kick started at 14. Not sure when it released exactly. It's set on my. I love Flying Frog games. I know they're love 'em or hate 'em company. I love Flying Frog, and big rant for me this year is that game sat on the shelf for me all through 2015. They kickstarted it. It was you had to pre-assemble the minis, and
there's a lot of assembly for that game.
Yeah, and I just wasn't going to do it. So I mean, and they kind of Shanghai you with it because Flying Frog never did that. Everything came pre-assembled in all the old games. This one, you open it up and there's a bunch of pieces. And finally, we recently had a guy join our group who's into minis and building and painting minis. And he put some together, and he said it was not a good experience. They weren't well done. So that was my biggest letdown. I was looking forward to that game because I love everything Flying Frog does. But that one for me was a huge letdown just because I didn't get to play it because there was just too much work that had to go into it. So eventually I will play it, but not getting to play that game was probably my biggest letdown.
Yeah, that game looks really cool.
Yeah, it does.
In the Box did an awesome review on it that was hilarious. But I don't know. I don't play Warhammer 40K anymore because I don't want to. Well, not just because I don't want to assemble minis. It's also incredibly expensive. But I don't want to spend time assembling that kind of stuff if I'm playing board games. You know, I spend enough time reading the rules and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to have to assemble stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, if that's your hobby and that's your thing you're into, that's fine. But I know a lot of people enjoy it. But for a company and a game system that never really did that before, and then just kind of spring that on people, I don't think it was very cool.
It had to be like a money-saving thing for them as far as putting out such a massive game for a decent price. Like, hey, we could just put these on sprues and it costs us, $5 less a box or something. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, things like that actually put me off games like more than you would expect. So, Kingdom Death Monster, I think everyone's heard of that, how huge that was. I did not take part in that because I knew it was all going to be sprued. And I saw all the expansions and all the exclusives that were coming out with it, and I was like, more sprues, more sprues, more sprues. And then there was like one big eagle thing, and I thought, that's like 5 sprues for one thing. Like, they're not going to be able to get... So, yeah, there's no way I was backing anything like that. I just don't have the time anymore to paint, glue, watch.
That's a hobby in itself. If you're going to do that, when are you going to play the game?
Yeah. As much as I do enjoy, is it Sam? Well, there's a couple of guys on the Dice Tower just now that seem to be doing this battle and brushings thing.
Oh, Sam and that new guy.
Sam and Rob Oren.
Yeah.
I'm like surprisingly enjoying that segment, and I'd never thought I would enjoy watching paint dry, and I guess that's essentially what you're doing, right? So,
it's weird that you say that. Is because they're spending all their time painting these miniatures. When do they ever have time to play? I would like to have that kind of time because my time is very short, and I don't want to be painting minis. I want to be playing a game.
Mm-hmm. Well, it turns out when you work full time for the Dice Tower, you have tons of time to do whatever you want with board games. So, I'm sending in my resume.
I guess that makes sense, right? That would be your main job. So yeah, type in glue.
I mean, I like painting minis, but it definitely comes a distant second to actually playing the game. I mean, I've had Imperial Assault for 6-7 months now, and I'm not even halfway through painting those minis. So,
yeah. Actually, Baker, I've just found out why people won't play Imperial Assault with you.
What?
Because you're playing with half painted minis.
Yeah, that's why. They're
How do you expect people to play Imperial Assault with you with half painted minis? Come on.
I agree. You're right. It's my own fault. I'm asking for people not to play with me.
That's exactly what you're doing. But we'll just swipe over it. Kirk, did you say you had a couple of letdowns? Do you have another one?
I would also say, I don't know, do any of you guys play the DC Comics deck builder?
No.
I do not play.
No, because I heard it's vastly unthematic.
Yeah, I enjoyed it in the past. The base game I enjoyed. For me, it was the year it died. If you guys haven't played it, I won't linger on it too long. But basically, I went to Origins this year, played the tournament, and they had a couple of the new expansions. And the base game was very straightforward. It was the theme was a little wonky, but the game was fun. As they tried to include new heroes and new characters and things, the game it almost got too cute for its own good. And they're adding mechanics, and they're adding just things that I played. The last one to come out was Teen Titans, and my wife got that for me for my birthday because she wanted to play it. But we played it. It was a real letdown because just like I said, the game is just they've bogged the game down with so much because there's only so much you can do with it, and they gave the good powers to Superman and Batman and the Flash, and now they're getting the secondary characters. And they really don't have anything else to do with it. So that game died for me this year. That was my other big letdown.
DC is my my comic, man. I mean, if I am into a comic, it's DC. But that game is just not done it. I even have Marvel Legendary, and that even in my eyes is quite unthematic, really. Like there's the whole beating the mastermind thing, but I still feel like you're just playing cards. Does anyone else feel like Star Realms, things like that, is kind of unthematic? Like, I don't know if it's just because this is how much damage I'm causing, this is how much I'm healing, this is how much damage I'm causing, this is how much I'm healing. It just seems to be very it's just the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
I enjoy them, and I like Legendary when you're like as a co-op game, you're playing 3 or 4 player, and you particularly as like just a step above a gateway game when you're watching people learn this deck building mechanic and their face is lighting up like, well, we're gonna beat Red Skull, and then they beat it, and then yeah, it's awesome, but it falls pretty flat in regards to theme. I think is like you were saying with the DC deck builder, though that just has just never been interesting to me. But the Marvel one, I bought it, I was super interested in it, but it's really fun. It's just still unthematic though.
Yeah, but both those games have problem with theme. But I like the basic. DC was good for me. That was always I've got a lot of plays for those because that's the game we pull out. You know, if it's getting late, we don't want to play a full game. Everybody knows how to play it. So before we go home, let's play DC. So that it got played a lot for that reason in my group.
Yeah, I mean, I think these things as well is they're super easy to just pump expansions into. Yeah. Like, here's another 25 characters and 5 villains. Here's another 25 characters and 5 villains. Also, here's another box to put all your stuff in. It seems kind of like a moneymaker. I see you laughing there, Barry, but it's intense, man. I mean, the boxes just get heavy, and then like.
Here are the specially adapted card sleeves for you to put your cards in. Here is a special dice tray that you can roll your dice in. Here is a table that you can buy. You can put these cards on. Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's got the emblem on it. The table does.
Yeah, and so you can put the cards in the right place on the table.
Yeah, and of course now we have Legendary Predator, which is pretty much impossible as far as I'm concerned as a co-op game. I've like tried to beat it like 4 times, super impossible. And then they're like, oh, guess what? Here's Legendary Alien. You can join them together, or you can try this impossible game by itself. So it's just non-stop IPs constantly. But I don't know. I guess we kind of got off topic there. But there's another couple of disappointments. Sorry. I guess from 2015 was that's all right, Kirk. No worries. But because those were some deck builders that came out in 2015 as well that just had the artwork, but didn't hold the theme for me.
Yeah. Star Realms is very much like playing tennis. It is just a back and forth.
As much as it's super fun.
Yeah, as much as it's I can't shuffle with one hand, so yeah, as much as it's fun shuffling cards and looking at spaceships and going, I'm going to be a blob. It's just tennis.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, because Star Realms was my number 1 or 2 most played game the first year that I was on the channel. I was doing my channel with my wife, and this year we haven't played it hardly at all. Like it's really fallen off for us.
I think you found some bedroom games, no? Hence you have a new baby in the house. You found other things to do instead of playing Star Realms. Well,
there's that, but the new baby just showed up like 2 weeks ago. So prior to that,
did that come from Canada as well?
That's what I'm told. I don't know how that works. No one ever explained that to me, so I don't. I think the stork flew down from Canada.
You were painting minis all year round. You don't know where the baby came from.
I don't know. It's like I'm painting minis and there's a baby here. What happened?
Well, hopefully not all year round. Otherwise, I would hope Imperial Assault was finished by now.
That's a good point. I'm really slow if I haven't finished it.
Maybe halfway through painting Imperial Assault, you found this big figure and thought, "Oh, I'll start painting this," and then it started crying. It's like, "Oh, sorry."
That's a real human being. But yes, I agree that like Star Realms, I don't know, it's kind of lost its luster.
Yeah. What is the baby look like a stormtrooper?
It was a very realistic likeness of a stormtrooper, though. I was impressed with myself.
But I think
Baker, didn't they come out with a new expansion for Star Realms this past year?
Yeah, Colony Wars, but I don't know if it's actually out yet because I haven't heard anything about it.
It is out, yeah.
It is out. And see, I haven't heard anybody talk about it, so I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if they wore people out because then they put out Cthulhu Wars, which was the exact same game, just with different icons and everything.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. They might
Barry
have
said,
already...
there's only so many times you can play tennis. So
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree, which is why I don't watch tennis.
I'm sure you're
Stormtrooper.
telling it in Baker's face. But yeah, as far as I was going to move on to 2016 and just things that I'm looking forward to. Does anyone else want to take this one first?
No, I might. I'll wait for everyone else. I'll try and keep my thing down.
Okay. Well, I'm going to just jump in and go for it because there's a few things that I'm super excited about, and the first one is The Others: Seven Sins. I really like the look of this. Like it seems to be taking a step away from the whole zombie side, moving squares. You can just move to certain areas. So I'm going to move to the corner of this street if I can make it there. Move to the corner of this street if I can make it there and get in there. It seems to be taken away from this 1-step, 2-step, 3-step, almost like your character has 4 speed thing. But there seems to be a lot of heavy dice rolling, a lot of really cool minis in that game, and the theme, it looks kind of up my street. I got to be honest. I saw Barry wearing the Black Sabbath shirt earlier on. It looks like a kind of metal game, I gotta be honest. So I'm looking forward to rock that. And I think Eric Lang is honestly, I think he's going to pull it out of the bag again.
So it's an excuse for you to listen to Black Sabbath while playing a board game. Yes, instead of playing it to Splendor, it doesn't work to Splendor. Finish with my woman, cause I'll take a red gem. Couldn't fit with my life.
I also found as well that listening to Metallica while playing Jaipur isn't the best combination. I tried it, but no, didn't work.
No,
Gangster rap works much better for both those games.
All right, okay.
Slipknot and Viticulture.
Wow. Now that's a concoction. Here, I speaking of viticulture, a little off subject, but I'm going to be playing that in a week's time today. I'm going to a game group, and a guy that I've been speaking to is bringing the collector's edition along, so it's got I believe the best of the Tuscany stuff. So
all of the Tuscany stuff.
Is it all the Tuscany stuff? Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It just comes in a nice box. That's all. There's like a box which holds both boxes.
Nice. So I'm looking forward to playing that. And I know you're a big fan of viticulture as well, right? So
yeah, I love it.
Yeah, man. I saw that was your number 1 game, right? Or was it your number 1 expansion?
It was my number 1 game.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that one. But yeah, 2016. I'm looking forward to The Others, and I'm looking forward to Arcadia Quest Inferno. Now I know that's 2 Kickstarters, and I know it's 2 Cool Mini or Not games, but I'm super excited about those, and also Rebellion. So that's going to be coming out next year too.
Yeah, I'll follow that up then, if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. The only thing that we can really look forward to are Kickstarters, because game companies don't really announce in advance that they got this game coming out unless they're either prototyping it at an event, or they are, that they've got an IP for it, or they are a bigger company like Fantasy Flight or Z-Man Games. They're normally just small companies that go, well, we've got this game, we put some publicity out, but the only way to get publicity out is to give it to people and say, please make a video of this, publicize my game for me. So again, a lot of things for 2016 for me are Kickstarter games, because that's the only thing that we know is definitely going to be coming, hopefully.
Never say definitely. Never say definitely.
Unless you're Oasis. Was that maybe definitely? Was it definitely maybe? Yeah. So for
definitely maybe, I think is the correct way.
Okay. I'm more of an ABBA fan. Sorry.
Yeah.
Give me a Kickstarter after midnight.
My mom loved ABBA when I was little.
And it hasn't worn off on you. It hasn't rubbed off onto you. Okay.
I don't know. I like. Did ABBA do Ace of Base? I don't know. I like Ace of Base. Those people are pretty cool.
Yeah. Did Marilyn Manson do that song called Marilyn Manson? Yeah.
Yeah. I
It's the bass.
Yeah,
So all you want
Marilyn
now
Manson
is
did that one
bass.
song, Megadeth.
Yeah, Ace of Base is good for you because all that she wants is another baby.
That's exactly where I
Right?
was
Yeah,
gonna go.
exactly. Exactly. You gotta watch out. No,
Anyway,
I never fully understood that song.
And then
Because
you saw
isn't
the
the song saying that she wants a baby and then she's gonna leave? Like she's gonna take the baby and run? That never happens. That's not how that works.
It can do in the UK, I tell you that.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that
So
song
the problem in the UK is that a woman will get pregnant and then take off with the kid?
Yeah, that's called
Here, it's
money for
Is she
nothing
selling it
and
into
your
the
chicks for
orphanage black
free.
market?
so I think without going into too much detail, bearing in mind it's a board game channel, I'm just going to say that song is essentially a government endorsed song for the job centre or for anything like that in the UK. So all that you want is another baby, take it and run, get some cash, live your life.
Oh.
So yeah, that's get your welfare check, all that sort of stuff. So
Okay.
yeah.
You must have very sizable welfare checks over there.
Taking a strange turn here.
Yeah, they grow on trees.
We have Barry, 2016. Sorry.
Okay, Conan.
Oh yeah.
From Monolith Games. Hopefully this month, next month, it should be here. It has like the others. It's not spaces. It's zones. So when you're attacking something, you got to be able to see the zone. Or when you're moving from zone to zone, not space to space. 15 squares. Oh wait a minute, it's out of range. Excellent game. I've played it 6-7 times now as prototype form, and it is not Dungeons and Dragons, Hero Quest, but with some logic puzzle solving and some beautiful minis, some great scenarios, some great ideas. And when you're playing, you're more cooperative as a team against the bad guy. You have to really discuss what you're going to do. It's not a case of, oh, I've rolled a 7, move 7. No, don't move there because you can't hit him and then I'm going to die. No, this is really, you've got to really plan ahead. So I'm looking forward to Conan, and I'm looking forward to Seventh Continent, which is my time story killer, because it is essentially a choose your own adventure book, and it is for me, it's going to be infinitely replayable. You may know the layout of the island, but different events are going to happen at different times. You may have a different curse, which will put you onto a different path. You may have a different expansion involved as well. So for me, those two games, I am moist.
Ooh.
My mouth, I'm dribbling from my mouth, right? Moist.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just to clarify.
I'm glad we clarified that, bearing in mind that this is a child-friendly channel, Barry.
Though again, to clarify, in no way associated with the Dice Tower Network. So just want people to be sure they know what they're getting.
Yeah, that's totally true. Okay, so 2016 for Asdruval. You got anything you're looking forward to?
Just what Barry said is I'm not really a big Kickstarter fan, but that's where all what's coming out. But there's one game in particular that made me think of you, Georgie. Sorry. The game. I had a mind blow up.
He thought of you in a general term, not specifically you, though.
The game is, I was just watching Dan King, the Board Game Geek, and he reviewed Swords and Bagpipes.
Yeah, I have seen that one.
Is that because you got a sword behind you?
No sword, I have a wheelchair back here.
Okay.
Yeah, that he gave it a good review, and that looked interesting. I guess it finished kickstarting, and it should be available soon over here. But that's the game is about Scotland trying to get away from England, and it's just a big battle.
That's why you thought of Georgie, because it's Scotland, not because of the sword.
Right. No, because of Scotland. The game is called Swords and Bagpipes.
Yeah, it's probably something to do with the big tartan all over the cover, right? I think I've seen the cover. Is that the right Asdruval? It's got a big tartan over the cover, and
It's got some campy cartoon artwork. It's very just cartoonish, comic bookish. It looks, but the game looks pretty cool. But that's one that I'm gonna check out if it comes out when it comes out.
Awesome. Baker, you got anything to look forward to?
I got
Finish
two.
painting the Imperial Assault.
Well, right. I'm looking forward to painting Imperial Assault some more. I should finish that mid-2017, which is also when Conan's going to come out, from the looks of it, which is really disappointing because I'm really excited for Conan. But no, Scythe or Sith, I don't know, I'm not sure how you pronounce that one, but the artwork for Scythe, yes, the artwork for this game is amazing. And the fact that it's got mechs for battle and also farmers in the game, those two things being put together sounds pretty interesting. So I'm very excited for that one. And Jamie Stagmeyer has not disappointed me yet with any of the stuff that I've played by him. I haven't played all of his games, but I really liked what he's put out so far. Yeah. And he's got a good head on his shoulders as far as how Kickstarter works. So if I was ever going to kickstart something, it'd be something probably by Mr. Stagmeyer. That and the other one is Seafall, coming from Plaid Hat Games, which is another legacy game. I don't really know a whole lot about it, except it's not going to be kickstarted unless Plaid Hat really goes away from what they've always done. Plaid Hat's never kickstarted anything, so hopefully they'll keep that with Seafall. And this is kind of Rob Davio's his baby. You know, he's worked on a couple of different things, and this is the one that's specifically from him. It's not a previous IP. It's something he's completely created all on his own. And he made the mistake last year of talking about it, and now everybody's like, why is it delayed? Why is it delayed? Well, he just accidentally talked about it in 2014, and now everybody was expecting it to be out soon. But he really was nowhere close to done with it. But so Seafall is looking pretty cool. I guess you're a ship captain or something, but it's legacy style as well. So
just a word of advice for you, Baker. Don't think that Scythe is a combat game. Okay, I played the demo.
Yeah, no.
And it is a lot of worker research. And I had a couple of friends with me who played it, and they walked away from the table being very disappointed that the combat system.
They were expecting.
Yeah, they were expecting something really cool from the combat system, but it wasn't. And again, I felt that the combat reflected real war. You know, when someone wins a war and conquers someone, their popularity will go down, and it makes it harder for them to get popularity. Yeah, popularity. So it plays really nicely. Just don't expect it to be an Imperial Assault killer.
No, I know. I got all these games that are like heavy combat, but would you say the combat for Scythe is more like a backdrop, and that the kind of That's I'm kind of excited for that. I want to play a
kind
game
of Cosmic
that
Encounter.
different ideas together.
Think Cosmic Encounter.
I'm on board.
Really, as far as how the combat works, or just
Huh? If I remember correctly, it is very much like Cosmic Encounter. You'll be playing a card. And then you have your forces and how strong they are, and you add them together. You can also, I think there's another special card that you can play as well, and it depends on how strong your force is, and obviously your popularity. And if you win, your popularity shoots down, and if you're the person that's defeated, your popularity will come up because everyone sympathizes for you. Obviously,
that's pretty cool.
You lose all your resources, but at the same time, you get a benefit somewhere else. So
yeah, you become like the folk hero that's fighting against the oppressor type thing.
Yeah. So
cool.
So is there a lot of area control in it then, Barry?
There can be. It depends how you play the game. And
okay.
Again, it depends on the faction that you pick as well. There's some factions which are given their special ability is only affected when they attack people, so you feel obliged to attack people. Whereas other powers are like for when you when you gain a resource, you gain plus than normal. So it feels very, very, very well balanced. It's kind of like the Voyages of Marco Polo. You know, the powers there. They're
hey guys.
Different.
I gotta go.
Okay, no worries, Baker. Catch you later.
Sorry to interrupt. I gotta go. It's good hanging out. Good seeing everybody. Barry, good to meet you. Kirk, will see you around. Asdruval, Georgie.
Hey, Baker.
Sorry about it.
He's got to go change a baby diaper right now.
I wonder what the smell was.
Oh, wait a minute.
So I, excuse me.
Yeah, so it just depends on what faction you're playing and things like that. You were saying, Barry, yeah.
Yeah. So, but very
Yeah,
good. I enjoyed it and I backed it. So.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it, and there's been, I think, a couple of demo copies floating around now. I think one somewhere in Europe and one somewhere in the US. So it's been floating around conventions, and yeah, it looks really, really cool. So super excited for that too. Can't wait. Also, I wonder what his next Magic piece is going to be, apart from obviously, because I imagine he's going to do a couple more treasure chests, and then I imagine he'll work. Oh, well, that'll be the expansion, right?
Yeah.
Barry, I have one quick question for Barry. How many games are you currently kickstarting right now?
I've got 3 games kickstarted: Conan, Scythe, and the Seventh Continent. I also have an expansion for Defenders of the Realm, which I'm waiting for, and some coins. So that's probably the most that I've ever done.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
Okay.
Georgie, how about you? How many games are you currently kickstarting right now?
No comment.
No.
Right. Let's follow him on Kickstarter.
It's not actually. It's not too many currently at the moment. But I've got a few. To be honest, recently it seems to be more like board game cafes and things that I've backed. So like there's one in Newcastle and there was one in Oxfordshire as well. But none of them seem to be making it. Like Barry was saying earlier about board game cafes, there's lots of them popping up, but there's a lot of them appearing on Kickstarter. And I mean, I'm not giving huge amounts to them because obviously they're not in my local area, but I'm up for giving them some cash to try and get one started, but they're just not making it at all.
Yeah, there was one in Portsmouth that got just about last minute got financed. So Luke Hector's happy. So of the Broken Meeple. But,
so the Snakes and Lattes Cafe, I mean, they're blowing up. I mean, what makes them so different than anybody else?
I'm not sure about
Canada, it's a different world.
It's Canada.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. I don't have any board game cafes here in America, around me anyway. Canadians know how to do it.
I guess so.
The Snakes and Lattes has got like probably one like next to that Board Game Geek Con is probably like one of the biggest like games libraries you'll ever just see open to the public, right? It's just massive, heaps of different copies of pretty much every game.
I don't know how those guys keep that. I got 24 games on my shelves and I can't keep track of that and keep all the pieces together. I don't know how they can possibly. The logistics of that just blow my mind.
Oh, I saw it on a Snakes and Lattes episode one day, and they have a very, very unique sticker system. That's it. It's like colored stickers, like red circles, black circles, and like that's all.
But I mean, like my games, it's my friends playing them, and my kids will get into them sometimes, and I'm missing pieces, and I don't know where stuff's at. When you have, hundreds of strangers walking in and playing with games they don't own all day, I don't understand how everything's not just destroyed at the end of when they close every day. It's just, we're going to buy all new games now.
Yeah. I found a gold coin for dungeon pets under the sofa today. So how the fudge did that get there?
Yeah, it could be worse. It could have been. You said it was dungeon pets that you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it could have been worse. It could be one of the pets' poos that you have to pick up. Yes.
Oh, it's moist.
Oh, not that word again. Kirk, you got anything you're looking forward to in 2016?
Yeah, I'm with you. Definitely, I'm looking forward to Rebellion because I'm sure, as Barry will tell us, you can't get enough Star Wars. Always looking for the next big Star Wars game. I'm really curious to see what that is. See,
it works! Woohoo!
bad mouth it the whole time. You got the touch. But that game just looks really, really interesting. I'm curious to see what they do with that. And then a Star Trek game, Georgie, because you know how well I keep track of Star Wars and Star Trek.
Yeah.
Gal Force 9 is putting out a Star Trek 4X game, and I really like that theme, and I really want to see what that company does with the property because they've done such a great job with licensed games, and I just want to see what they do with a big Star Trek game. That looks like a lot of fun, or sounds like a lot of fun. And then just this week they released Greater Than Games started shipping the new expansion for Sentinels of the Multiverse, the Villains of the Multiverse, which is basically cards for their villain system where you fight a team of villains instead of just one. And again, I love that game, and I get everything they get for it, so I'm looking forward to that one coming in.
Awesome. So you've got quite a lot that you're looking forward to then, Kirk.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good year.
Yeah. Do you guys just? This is a bit off the cuff, and I know like what Barry was saying as well totally still stands against like we know what's coming Kickstarter wise, but thoughts? You guys reckon it's going to be better than 2015? Could it be better than 2015? 2015 was a pretty good year for gaming. I know Barry, you're saying you had a lot of disappointments, but it was still a pretty good year for gaming overall.
Now here's where I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kirk.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. What my thought was that yes, 2015 was a stellar year for board gaming, but what I'm afraid of is that now we have all these people that say, okay, well, we'll just make any kind of board game and just slap it together and just kind of overflood the market. Kind of like when Magic the Gathering hit in 1993, then everybody started making just random card games, and it kind of overflooded the market, and it kind of just saturated the market. And I hate to say this, but I think that we are reached its peak now, and I don't know. I don't foresee that it can get any bigger. I think 2016, in my opinion, we're going to see a lot of crap, basically.
Mm.
Just my opinion.
Well, that's right.
I didn't get to play, personally, a lot of the big games that were really hyped in 2015. I just played Blood Rage this weekend for the first time, and I really liked that. But I didn't really get to play. But, I mean, the hype for 2015 was so big, I don't think we'll live up to that. And Asdruval, you might be right. We might be seeing, hitting like a critical mass where it's all going to be downhill. But hopefully, because we're getting so many good games, we can start to be a little more selective, and those games that aren't very good might, fall to the wayside because we have better choices. So I don't know. You could be right, but I'm hopeful that we'll at least the expectations are higher now. So hopefully the quality will follow that.
Yeah. I would agree about the quality of games, the amount of not in the middle of the road type of card games and board games that have been slapped together. Because I mean, for me, 2015 was the year of Star Wars games, dice rolling, worker placement games, pirate games, and not a lot of them were great. Not a lot of them had that kind of like thing which makes you go, ooh. They were all kind of, yeah, okay, I've done this, I've been there. It's just like you want something new, something that pops. I mean, obviously the games that popped were Time Stories, Pandemic, Blood Rage, things like that. But again, I think 2016 is going to be more of the same, like you say. It's just going to be lots more games out there, and a lot of them are going to be mush. And again, I'm someone that's I've had the chance to play a lot of prototypes, which are coming from Asmodee, and some of them are quite interesting, and some of them are quite middle of the roady. So fingers crossed that 2016 quality comes into play. It's not just a case of good minis, good board game, good artwork and stuff. It is the consistency of the game, which is the priority for the publishers, and to get a good name out there, because if you've got a good name with a good game, you're gonna start climbing the ranks of the world. It's like anything. It's if you make a good video on YouTube, you're gonna get somewhere. Where if you make lots of really rubbish ones, Yeah, I'm
Right.
talking from, talking from experience.
I agree with you on that. I mean, I mean, the artwork and is just secondary to me. I mean, a game could have crappy artwork, but if it's fun to play, I'm gonna play it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've got a wife that buys games which have got nice artwork on them. It's like, okay, I'll give it a try. Oh, there goes €50. Wait, in the bin. Hey, where's the applesauce? Someone get the applesauce. Oh, what's my love? Someone's put applesauce on your game.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same about like I guess like 2016 as well. So I'm hoping for like I really am hoping for another awesome year. However, like you'll know about it, we spoke earlier, but 1,000, I would say probably like 1,000 games came out at Essen, and how many of them are actually standing as like totally awesome, amazing games right now? It's not that many. Yeah. One hand, maybe two. Obviously, you can't show us two, Barry, but like maybe two hands at maximum worth. Like I've got one example, Mule. Everyone raved about Mule. They were like, "Oh, Mule, the new like because of it was like an old school game. Everyone was super excited about this game coming out. It got released and nobody speaks about it. Nobody really raves about it. Like I've seen like a couple of reviews. People are like, "Yeah, it's Mule. It's okay. It's yeah." I mean, I don't think. I think in 2016, I'm hoping for people not to release games that are okay, because we've had too many okay games, and people are getting like companies are having to merge together because of this. Like like we've seen a lot of companies. We really are like a lot of companies are merging together because they're releasing so many okay games that they can only just get by as a unity, let alone as standing alone. So we need them to start releasing like these, like picking really top titles and like really filtering out what is not really going to sell, or just be a repeat or a reflush or a rehash of whatever we've seen in the last 10 years. So
yeah, that's the thing. Again, as I said, a lot of the games that I played, which came out in 2015, were rehashes of other games with a slight change or different theme, and it's like, oh god, come on, give me something new, some new mechanics, some new themes, some new. I mean, there were some good ones, as I said earlier. New York was interesting because it had Tetris with Ticket to Ride, and Sapiens was dominoes, but with theme and really interesting mechanics as well. Apocalypse Chaos, and they talk about Apocalypse Chaos, excellent co-op game, where it is a real brain burner. I mean, I'm not talking pandemic brain burner, that's nothing. But Apocalypse Chaos, boom! Check the room.
So you're recommending we check it out then, right?
Yeah. If you like co-ops and you like scratching your head for hours on end and having those big discussions with the group, I'm not talking should I go there and clean that up and then move there. I'm talking, okay, this guy's going to move here and he's going to do this. I've got these results. Do you want to swap? Yeah. Everyone's involved. It's 100% interaction all the time, unlike Pandemic where someone can just sit there and go, yeah, right then, move me. I'll clean up Tokyo.
Oh, you better watch. Baker's probably going to jump in a second again.
Yeah, but I've played with some people before, and it's like, okay, we got 15 cards in the hero deck left. Okay, so on your turn's going to be the last turn. So it's like
alpha game.
The fun out of the game.
Yeah.
Bye, fun.
People are doing maths like halfway through, right, working out, and they're like, we can't beat it. They're like, what? We've got like 15 moves left, and we can't beat it.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, well, let's cheat. Let's have some cards back in.
Just have fun. As long as we have fun, everything will be fine.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about for me, anyway. And it seems like it's all about for you as well, Barry. So, Kirk, Asdruval, I'm sure it is for you guys as well. To be honest, I think we've babbled on enough about 2015, 2016, and what's to come. I think just before we go, though, Asdruval, have you got anything you want to say just before we go?
No, that I'm really looking forward to this year. Just yesterday, I got my copy of Champions of Midgard, an amazing game. So played that for the first time. Been sold out everywhere. Couldn't get a hold of a copy, but finally got one. Just looking forward to getting more plays in. I played more board games in 2015. It seems that every year my board game count is rising. So I'm hoping to match board game plays for this year, 2016. And trying to get new people into the hobby.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Well, just before I move on to Barry and Kirk's things, Barry and Kirk, you guys know that Asdruval actually has to rent out a storage unit to hold his games in. He has that many games. Asdruval has to rent out a storage unit.
Look into my eye.
So, true story.
Good. I was going to say something. Can I go next then, or?
Yeah.
Okay, right. I'd like to say thanks for having me on the show. I felt really comfortable. Unfortunately, a bit too comfortable when some naughty stuff come out my mouth, so I apologise for that, and I'll probably never be back. And I was going to say, you don't have to buy every game that's out there. Just buy the good ones.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, just buy what interests you. Do your research and buy what interests you.
Yeah.
Kirk, you got anything you want to say?
Yeah. So Asdruval, there actually is a vault that you're pulling all those old games out of.
101.
There's literally a vault.
I literally have a storage unit where I basically at my house just keep games that I play constantly, just the newer games. But yes, they will get transferred over to the storage unit, and whenever I do a segment on Board Game Blender, I actually have to go and find the thing, you know.
Do you have a Pip-Boy to locate it? No.
I wish I did. I need a better system because I've actually had a couple cave-ins in the past.
Well, I wanted to tell you too, Asdruval, you're my son's favorite segment on Blender, and
thank you, I appreciate it.
It's always you always get me in trouble too because he's like, Dad, let's go buy that game. I'm like, no, son, it hasn't been in public. He's like, let's buy it anyway. I look it up, it's like $300 on eBay. And he's like, oh, let's buy it, Dad. I have like $10 birthday money. You can buy the rest. It's no big deal. So, but when I told him I was doing a live chat with the retro gamer, he's like, is he coming to our house? And you actually work for me here. He was really excited to meet you. So.
Kirk, I really appreciate that, man. I really appreciate it.
Sure. Thank you. And Georgie, thanks for having me on so much. This has been a great year for me, like I said, starting to do this and getting to know guys like you. I appreciate it. Barry and Asdruval, great to meet you guys. I really enjoy watching what you guys do as well, and hopefully I can live up to that at some point. But 2016, I think, is going to be a great year. I'm kind of the opposite of Asdruval. For a lot of different reasons, my games played were a little bit down. Definitely hope to get more games played this year, play a lot of newer games. Like he said, introduce more people, get to know more gamers, and just really grow what I'm doing on not just on the internet but personally as a gamer. Just get a lot more done.
Awesome. And for me, I hope 2016 continues to be as completely awesome as 2015 was. I'm just going to, now I haven't practiced this, so I'm going to try and plug everyone in one brief, swift speech. With thanks again for Asdruval, the retro gamer you can catch every second week on Board Game Blender. Thanks to Barry Doublet, you can catch on his YouTube channel at Barry Doublet, which used to be called, I believe, Board Games That Everyone Should. And you can also catch him on the Burky and Badger show, which is live every week or a couple of weeks. And then thanks again to Kirk for Roll and Move Reviews for making an appearance as well. Also, Baker from Board Online and Board Offline, he had to make a quick appearance and then a quick exit because his baby had to go bathroom, I guess would be the best way to put it. And just thanks to everyone for making an appearance, and I've had an awesome chat and an awesome show. Just awesome 2015, and I hope again for 2016. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.
Thanks, guys. Happy New Year.
Bye.